Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and spending some time with me. And just want to let you guys know, man, I know how many YouTube channels are out there. The YouTube's saturated with bass fishing YouTube channels, so really appreciate you guys tuning into Advanced Bass Fishing here. Guys, what I want to do today is I want to talk about, I think about stuff like this a lot in bass fishing, and I fish with a lot of different people, through my co-anglers and friends and on the water lessons that I do. And I want to really go over, out of everybody that I fish with and talk to and my own experiences, because it happens to me too, what is the worst mistake that bass anglers make that really undermine their own fishing success? So we're going to get into that today's episode. I'm also, guys, before we get started, just a quick invitation. I'd like to invite everybody, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me. You can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, and just shoot me a private message. And also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's been using all my links that I put in every video description. If you guys are using that Tackle Warehouse link of mine I talk about all the time, or getting you a Fish the Moment lake map breakdown, you're really doing a lot to support the channel. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, if there's a lot of mistakes people make. I make a lot of mistakes in bass fishing. There's dozens and dozens and hundreds, actually, of mistakes that people make that keep them from catching fish. But in my opinion, probably the number one thing that I see that keeps people from catching fish, and they're sort of related a little bit, is fishing too fast, along with not putting the lure where they want to put it. And it's sort of a combination between the two things. So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, if one of the things that happens in bass fishing is if you're not catching fish, a lot of times you tend to speed up. It's like, say for example, you're working a bank and you're not getting many bites. You find yourself just going through and fishing too fast through there. You're not slowing down because there's nothing keeping you to slow down, as far as bass slowing you down where you want to slow down and try to catch some more fish out of that one area. So a lot of times you start fishing too fast. And I can tell you, without any exception, the golden rule in bass fishing is the quickest way to not catch very many fish is to fish too fast. Now, I don't mean that you have to fish slow like a snail to catch fish. It's all about fishing at the right pace. Now, that right pace can be slow, medium, even it can be a little bit fast sometimes. But if you're fishing fast, if you're fishing fast for any other reason other than the fact that the fish want a lure fast, or they want you fishing fast, you're making a big mistake. Never works out ever. And I've been a victim to it myself, guys. I have been in situations where I feel like I'm just casting and I'm not expecting to catch a fish every cast. Here's a good sign that you're doing something right. If you guys have known this, if you got caught any bass, you sort of know something that really looks good and you're expecting to get a bite, and then there's other times where you think, that doesn't look really good. I'd be really surprised if I catch one here. You need to always be in the type of water where you're expecting to get a bite every cast. If you're not, then you need to make some type of an adjustment. So expect to get a bite, be in that type of water, and don't fish fast. That's the biggest thing. The next thing tied along to that is, guys, if you can't put your lure where you want to put that lure, your fishing success is going to get cut down to next to nothing. And I've been with a lot of people in the boat that are learning how to bass fish. They're not, it's everybody goes through the process. It's like we all start out, laying. I equate it to like building a house. Like when you're starting your journey in bass fishing, you're laying your first brick in the house. Some people are laying their first brick, and other people are about finished with the house. So when you're starting out fishing, this is a very, very common problem I see people make, is they simply cannot put the bait where they want to put it. And so many techniques in bass fishing require casting accuracy, where you have got to put that bait right next to an object, or you got to be able to pitch that bait right into a little hole, or you got to be able to skip that bait up underneath that boat dock. Huge, absolutely huge. I can't overestimate enough how big of a deal that is, because I'll give you an example here. I could take two people out. Let's say, for example, you guys came over to my house And one of you dudes have never, you didn't even know what a bass is. You've never caught a fish your whole life. And I could spend all day long with you and I wouldn't tell you anything about fishing. All I would do is teach you how to cast accurately. And we would practice and practice and practice. Practice pitching and flipping, practice skipping, practice casting. By the end of the day, guys, I will have it where you can put that bait pretty much where you want it. And that's one situation. Let me explain it here. Then the next person, I can take somebody else that maybe knows everything about bass fishing. They're a great fisherman, but for whatever reason, they are a terrible caster and they can't put that lure anywhere they want to. If both of those people got in the boat with me, the one person that doesn't know anything about fishing but is now is a good caster versus the guy that knows a ton about fishing but is a terrible caster, that dude that has never caught a fish before will smoke that guy that knows everything about it, that can't cast very well, simply because you can put your lure where you want to. If there's one thing you can do, guys, one thing that you can do to help your fishing, get as good as you can get at casting. Master every technique. Master skipping a spinning rod, skipping a bait caster, sidearm cast, underarm cast, cast ambidextrous. All the different applications for casting, you really need to master that in order to get the most out of your bass fishing experience. So anyway, guys, hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk later.